Ever since I released that digital planning video a couple weeks ago, I have been getting all kinds of questions about digital planning and how to do it, what you need, software questions, all of that kind of stuff. So I just want to answer all your Qs about digital planning and everything that kind of goes along with that. So I just tried to film this video in my office, guys, and to give you guys a new setting, and the sun was just, let me tell you, me and it were going at it. Like, it would come out and then it would go back under the clouds, and I just gave up and came out here because the lighting's a little more, steady. But if you are new here, my name is Jessica Stansberry, and I want to help you create a life that is more soul-filling so that you can enjoy every single day and love the life that you live. It's super important to me that, I'm happy every day and that I enjoy what I'm doing and that I'm living a life that fills up my cup. And so I want to help you guys be able to do that too. So that's what we do here on this channel. Fill up your cup, YouTube tips, digital planning, all the things. So make sure you hit subscribe if you are new here. And if you are here and you're looking for digital planning 101, you are definitely in the right place. So hit subscribe and let's just get into it. So not only have I just been asked questions directly about digital planning, especially once I released my video about it, but I actually sent out an email to my email list asking them if they had questions about digital planning or whatever, and put a prompt on my Instagram. So I've compiled a list of questions that you guys have sent me and asked me, and I think it will help you get a better understanding of digital planning and if it will work for you in your life and all the things. So I got a lot of questions about how to design it, how to design certain elements of it, etc. And that is not something I plan to teach. However, I will tell you that I designed mine in InDesign, but I know you can design it in basically anything where you can design PDFs. So I've seen people say they design theirs in Keynote or PowerPoint or something of that nature to be able to get the interactive pieces. I can't speak to that very much, but I used InDesign from Adobe and designed mine that way. And if you want more tips on InDesign and kind of how to use it and maybe even how to design your own planner in InDesign, I think she might have a video all about that. There is one of my good friends, Lisa from Pretty Fabulous Designs, has a channel all about InDesign tips and tricks, so you should go follow that. But just know they're not that hard to create, depending on the varying levels of what you want it to look and function like. Because I wanted mine to actually look like a real planner, like when you click the tab, it folds over, and when you go here, those tabs are in a different place, just like if you were flipping through a real one. I did go a little bit more extensive with my design, and I will say it was a little more advanced, but I've seen a ton of people successfully selling digital planners and creating digital planners for themselves that are not that intricate. And so just know that you can do whatever you want to there. As long as it will design an interactive PDF, you are golden. So I did have a lot of questions about that. I also had some questions about how to market digital planners, digital printables, Etsy shops, that kind of thing. And I have a couple of videos where I have talked about how to create and sell digital products. And then I've also done some with my friend Lisa from Pretty Fabulous Designs on how to do digital products in that way too. So I'll link those up below for those of you who were asking those questions. All right, and then we have paper or digital planning or both. Okay, so, and I think I mentioned this in my digital planner video, I love a good paper planner. It does not even, I love it. Back when I was broke as a joke, I would spend $50 or $60 on the best planner I could find because I loved it so much. However, at this point in my life, I really need everything digital. I need everything to be accessible from my phone if I'm out somewhere. I need to be able to use different apps together. And so for me right now, digital is the way I need to go. Plus, I can take my iPad with me anywhere I go. Let me grab it. So I have the smaller 9.7 inch. I think it's 9.7. And so I can, I have a thingy on it with a keyboard. So I can just like put this in my bag and take it anywhere I want to go. My planner, depending on how big it was and how like crazy it was, I probably didn't take it with me everywhere. And so like today, for instance, I'm heading out to a Chamber of Commerce meeting, and I have every intentions to bring this as a notebook, a planner, keyboard, whatever I need it to be. So it's just a really convenient thing. And for me at this point in my business and my life, I need the digital stuff. I had some people asking whether it would sync with Google Calendar, and it does not. Like the planner function does not, like GoodNotes doesn't know it's on a specific date that you're writing something. It's a designed PDF inside of the program. So it doesn't know you're writing on January 24th. It just knows you're writing on a PDF. Like that's really all it can know. However, I use my Google Calendar and my planner in two different ways. So I use my Google Calendar for anything that has a time-specific task. So if it is, I have to be at a Chamber of Commerce meeting at noon, that goes on the Google Calendar. If it is, I have a call with someone at 1, it's going on the Google Calendar. And that is because I need that pop-up alert on my phone and my computers and whatever to remind me that I have that thing, because if not, I'll forget about it. And that's the honest truth. But I use my digital planner to write down things that are not time specific. So on this day, I need to get this done. On this day, I'm going to start promoting this thing. On this day, I'm going to film this YouTube video. Those kind of things, because I don't like to see all that stuff on my Google Calendar. It gives me like heart palpitations because I think my day is like completely full when it's really not. So I keep the time specific stuff over there and digital plan for the non-time specific things. I also use my daily planning sheet, which I released for free, by the way, and I will link that up below. My daily planning sheet, I just kind of look at my Google Calendar the night before. I write down all my appointments on my daily planning sheet and all the things I want to get done in like a hierarchy of what's more important and like things I really need to make sure I get done versus the things I'd like to get done. A lot of times we're not realistic with ourselves and we try to put too much on our to-do list. So I kind of arrange that like these have to be done. My top 2 or 3 things that just have to get done that day. And then the rest of it is stuff. If I get to it, great. If I don't, it can move on to the next day. It's not a big deal. So that digital planning sheet, that daily planning sheet, and my digital planner are both linked up below. So if you are like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, it's linked below for you, but they're both really awesome, and I can say that because I designed them. Okay, so the next question is how to create inserts to add in without having to buy them, and how to make stickers. Again, I had a lot of questions about how to actually create a planner. So the stickers are just like I designed them. They're just like JPEGs I designed in Photoshop. That is not anything hard. You can do it in Canva, whatever. There were some questions about how to make it the way I did it, where you select it instead of taking a screenshot of it and moving it, which you don't really, like a lot of you are probably like, I don't even know what you're talking about. But the way that I did that is because it's a GoodNotes file versus a PDF file. So if that makes sense to you, hopefully that helps. The other question was how to design inserts without having to purchase them. Now, one, I highly recommend like purchasing inserts from somebody you love and supporting their small shop. And I'm not saying that because I have planners, because I don't really have that many inserts, but these people do this for a living and they really love putting this together and putting together things that match and things like that. And if you are a visual person, getting things that match is key, and they're not expensive at all. But if you want to make your own insert, I talked about it in my insert video, but it's just a JPEG. So create it in Canva, create it in InDesign, in Photoshop, whatever you want to create in, make it the size you need it, and then pop it in as a JPEG into your planner. So it's not something that is complicated at all. It's literally a JPEG. Doesn't matter what you're doing. All right, the next question is, can you use a digital planner on a laptop with tablet capabilities? Here's my caveat about the digital planner. I talk about it on the iPad with the pencil, right? Like I talk about using it on the iPad with the Apple Pencil. As long as you have a tablet and a stylus or a finger, you can use it. Now, I like the user experience better of having the pencil and being able to write things down just like I'd write them on a piece of paper rather than having to use my finger. A lot of times styluses tend to be thick on the end, so it's like hard to actually write things in small spaces. But as long as your device allows you to import a PDF and write on it with your finger, a stylus, whatever, you can use it. So don't think it's just for the iPad and the pencil. I do think it works best that way. But someone in the comments on one of my recent videos said that Xodo, I think that's how you say it, Xodo, is the GoodNotes equivalent on Android. And if you're using a computer that has tablet capabilities, you're just going to download it as a PDF, use your regular PDF reader, and then use a stylus or your finger or whatever to write on it. So yes, you can use this planner, not just mine, anybody's digital planner on any device that allows you to import PDFs. You can use it on a computer if you want to and write with your mouse or type in the boxes. So don't think it's just for the iPad. I just think it's really cool on the iPad. So it's really that. The next question was, can you use on Android? I think I just answered that one. So the Xodo app, Xodo, I will link it below, is the GoodNotes equivalent, and that comes from a commenter on my channel. I don't know that for certain. I did do some research, and it does look like that is the case. So I feel confident giving you that recommendation. But yes, you can use on Android, no problem. And I've actually had people asking about whether you can use it on your phone, on an Android phone, whatever. I know a lot of the Android phones like have styluses, stylusize. I'm pretty sure it's styluses built into the sides. So you just like pop them out and you can write on your screen. Absolutely. You can absolutely do that. I can pull it up here on my phone, no problem. So like if I want to pull up my digital planner on my phone, I can absolutely do that. It's being really slow right now, but I can do that. And I can use everything just like it's designed. There's September, and I can click over to October. I can zoom in on the box and I can get the pen tool and I can write. But and I know you guys cannot see that good, but I'm just writing with my finger. There, you can see that a little bit. I'm just writing with my finger versus writing with a pen. So I can pull up anything I've written in my GoodNotes planner from the iPad. I can pull it up on my phone. So if I've written a meal plan or whatever I've written, I can pull that up on my phone if I don't have my planner with me. So you can use it on your phone just the same as you can use it on a tablet. So don't worry about that at all. And then the last question, which is probably my favorite, and I'm totally going to do a dedicated video to this in the future, but is how to use it. Well, first of all, did I completely replace Trello with digital planning? Part one of the question. And then how to use them together. So part one of that question, absolutely not. I am literally reading the questions from my Trello app on my phone. So I did not replace Trello at all with my digital planner. One, I have a team that needs to be able to move things through a process. And so I need it to be on something like Trello that's digital, that can be accessed anywhere, that can be accessed by anybody. And they can move it through the process of, okay, now it's here, and now it's here, and now it's here, and now it's here. Also, like for instance, with these questions, I created a Zapier Zap that took the question from Typeform where I had you guys submit them and put it on a Trello card. So I can't do that with digital planning. My digital planning is really a place for me to be able to plan out my day and plan out my month and my content and things like that in a way where I don't have to be in front of my computer. I can write it down. There are studies that say that when you write things down, you remember them more. So it's kind of in that realm that I use the two together. All of my Trello boards are still there. And even with my daily planning, I have the things I need to get done that day are being put in there on my digital planner because I went and looked at Trello to see when I needed to get done that day. So it kind of goes hand in hand because I will never give up my first love, and that is Trello. but I think they work really well together. You can upload spreads from your digital planner into Trello if you want to. So you could say like, hey, I wrote down all these notes, but now they need to go to my team. Rather than having to type them in Trello, you can just upload it into Trello. It's really easy, but I will totally do a video on how to use them in conjunction later. I won't take up this whole video to do that, but yes, I use them both and they're both amazing and they're both still my favorite things ever. So don't think that I gave up Trello for even a microsecond because of digital planning. I just love both. So I have figured out a way that works for me to use both in a way that makes sense for my business and my life. And I will say the digital planner tends to lean more towards being used in my personal life rather than my business. Now, again, I write out my daily to-do list in my digital planner, so I have all that there. I do a lot of content planning in my digital planner. I do a lot of planning on like when I'm going to promote something or whatever in my digital planner and copy it or move it to Trello or don't, whatever I want to do that day. But I do notice that like the digital planning goes more towards brainstorming and my personal life than Trello does, because Trello is much more of my business life because I need to be able to move people through a process, to invite my whole team, etc. So an example of this is meal planning. I've done meal planning boards on Trello before, and I think they're great. For me, I really like writing them down and coming up with stuff and being able to erase. And I don't know, there's just something to the art of writing, right? So I have actually moved all my meal planning prep over to the digital planner versus what I used to have on Trello. And I will definitely dig in and dive deep into kind of what my planner looks like, what extra pages I have in it, and all that stuff at another time. So I think that wraps up all the questions you guys have been asking. If you have any more, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to answer them. And then if you are interested in digital planning, or you want to look at the free daily printable, that is a daily planner that you can print or use with the digital planner. You don't have to just use it with this. Check that out in the links below, and I've linked anything I've talked about today in the description box. And don't forget to go out and live a soul-filled life and hit subscribe. Bye, y'all.